Hello and welcome to this How To Trophies walkthrough guide. Today we're looking at the unique jumps in Grand Theft Auto Vice City, the Definitive Edition. So for this you will unlock the trophy Daredevil. The way I've gone about these jumps is that I've done them for where there's a mission that the jump needs to be done, or the jump can be completed as part of a mission. I've put those first. So on this example we've got Hogtied, which is one of the first missions for the bikers, which allows you to do this unique jump over the ammunition store at the downtown section of Vice City itself. I guess a tip to point out right now, which will help you with some of the shorter jumps, is that you can push up on the analog stick and you'll see Tommy kind of crouch down in his position. This will enable the bike to go faster. Try not to push it too far, otherwise it'll have the opposite effect and you will start trying to do a stop it or an endo. So it's really important to get that technique sorted. The second set of jumps are coming from the mission G Spotlight. So this has 3 specific unique jumps within the actual mission itself. Again, I found the easiest way to do this was to get through the mission, so I'm not repeating a jump later on. So it's essentially just a bit quicker to do it this way and just do it the once rather than go around each jump and then coming back to it at a later date. So this area is always open, so there's no need to worry about it going forwards and whether it'll be locked off or not. So again, don't worry if you don't get these during the mission, you will be able to retry at any point. This building is always open, so, and the lift allows you to get to the second floor. It is important that you make note of what the jumps you've done or haven't done are. You could do them in any order you want, really, but if you've done one, it's always harder, I find, to find it when you've done them not out of order, or you've not kind of made a mental note or a paper note on the jumps that you've actually done. It's really frustrating when you get to like 1 or 2 needed and you have to go back around the whole loop again just because of the one you've missed. So on this jump, it's particularly important to miss the guy by the window, otherwise it will not, or it could like you could land short of the jump. That's what I'm trying to say. If you hit him, because it takes all your momentum away. But this is the first jump on G Spotlight, which is the second jump we've done in total. Then we'll move on to the next jump. This one is one that does benefit from you kind of pressing forwards on the analog stick in order to kind of crouch down so that he can get a bit more distance. Here I don't actually make the best jump, but it still gives me the reward, so a little bit lucky on that one. You'll probably be able to go further than that. And then the third and final jump on this mission is the one over to the finish. This can be quite hard to get right as well, but hopefully just take a big run up at this jump and hopefully you should get it. This is the final jump before you actually complete the mission, and you get off your bike at this point and activate the spotlight. So we'll start in Ocean Beach for the other jumps that we're going to be doing. So we're in the dock area. There are a couple of jumps here, and again it's quite easy to mess these up because they do come in consecutive order. So you'll do one, then you'll do another. So if you don't land the first one correctly, which I think actually happens here, I think I have to cut the video in order to show you what actually happens. And then again, this is your second one that we're going to do here. And there we are. That's your first 2 in Ocean Beach complete. There are quite a few more to do in this area, so we'll go into the back alleys at this point. This is another one you can do during a mission, and this is another double jump, so you may have got this already or you may not, but obviously you need to get on that roof for the plane mission anyway, so you could have already done that. And the double jump there off the end, I would recommend you do it in sequence like that rather than stopping and trying to start again, essentially. So we're already to jump 9 of 36, which seems like we've done quite a lot of jumps already, which is good. These should take you around half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how many times you actually fail the jump or not. This one is quite difficult, so this took me a couple of goes, and if it does wreck your bike, a good place on the first island to pick up a new bike is just by the it's where you do PCG Playground. So you'll just start the mission, just get off the bike and just get back on the bike. Make sure you've pulled away from the mission start point and then get back on the bike again. So yeah, as mentioned, this one can be quite difficult because you do have to land on this roof. Just about managed to do there. A lot of times I did hit or sometimes I did hit the front of the roof, which is a little bit frustrating and often leads to you needing quite a lot of new bikes. So going back up to the main ocean beach, kind of back corridor now. There are, I think, 3, maybe even 4 in this area. So this one is the first one. So jumping back into the direction, kind of towards the north of the island, and that's our 10th one completed. Again, these could be done at any time, but some jumps will be harder in certain conditions. So if it is raining, for example, you may not be able to get the same run up that you can when it's dry due to the kind of physics dynamics. So if you do struggle, just wait for the weather pattern to change. It changes kind of every, I think, 4 or 5 minutes. You get a new kind of weather system. So if it is raining and you're struggling with a jump, just wait for the rain to pass, and then hopefully it will dry up and you'll have more grip and be able to build up more speed. That's the second jump that we've done in the kind of back alley, and then we're going to go to this parking lot mall area, kind of iconic from this particular game. There's a lot of screenshots of this particular spiral car park. This is another one where it's advised that you try to take as long a run up as possible, but also push forward on the analog stick to support you getting the most speed possible. And this corner is quite difficult, but you do have to try and take it as fast as possible. And then also you can pull backwards on the analog stick just before you take the jump. That sometimes also helps to get you a bit of lift from the jump. So just experiment around if you're having issues with each particular jump. And this area is another area where you're going to do your next jump as well. So try and stay on the roof from this jump, because you're going to need to go over onto this next roof. And then I could have continued here. The ramp is the middle one of the 3 that you could see in the distance, but I just wanted to ensure I got the best run up possible, so reversed back all the way to the edge of the building and then went forwards. Again, this one trying to avoid the building that I'm just going to go past here, otherwise it won't give you the stunt jump. You need to jump into the road itself. And my bike's already smoking, so I'm probably going to need a new one pretty soon. As we get further up the map on the first island, we'll do a couple more in this actual alleyway. So this one up the stairs, and I found it easier landing on the building, but I think you can also land on the road at that point. As long as you've got enough distance, it seems to give you the actual stunt itself. These are the ones that you will do during the PCG Playground side mission, but it doesn't give you. That was one of them. This is a difficult one. This one will take you some practice due to the run up not being exactly straight or having to dodge cars. So you do have to make it to at least the grassy area that I've just landed on there, and that should get you the unique jump. But yeah, that one will take a few goes. Don't try not to get frustrated on that one. I think that was my maybe 6th or 7th attempt at that particular one. And then, yeah, these are the ones that you'll be more familiar with the PCG Playground mission, which I was talking about earlier. But you can't get the jumps during the missions, unfortunately. So this is where I've gone back to do them at a later date. So that's the first one of those. Or the last one of those. No, there is another one to come. So we've got to go down the side of this alley here and take out this next one. Again, this one's about distance. So try and get as much distance and try... I think I do end up hitting this building here, but try not to obviously hit that full. Otherwise, I don't believe it will give you the unique jump. As we continue down here, you can see there's quite a lot of jumps in this area. We're already up to jump 18. I'm going to start going over the river at this point. So by the back of the police station, try to get as much speed up as possible. Hopefully don't hit anything. And then you do have to clear these railings here. Again, if you do land a little bit short, it can be problematic. But that was a good jump that time. Then we're going to jump back the other way. So just position your bike again, and then you could just go back the other way over. It's basically the same jump again. You're just coming from the opposite side. So get yourself a run up. Hopefully the traffic won't be there, and then, like I said, just back over to the other side of the river. And yeah, you could avoid that lamppost. Or at least I just crashed into it after I'd landed. So that did give me the unique jump that I was looking for. So on to number 20, and this is by the police station over the bridge. Again, this could be a difficult one to land in the right place. So you want to try and avoid the trees, and you also want to try and avoid some of the kind of concrete wall bush that's kind of there. So again, just keep trying these as much as possible. If you don't make it the first time, you will. Just keep trying. It's all about the distance and sometimes where you land. So just hopefully get it first time though. This one, it can be quite difficult to set up, so you've got to climb onto the actual scaffolding itself and complete the jump from the scaffolding. So you'll probably see me, I don't know if I cut it out, but I think I fell a few times from this scaffolding. So it's a little bit fiddly if you're not. Yeah, there we are. That's where I must have fallen at this point. I had to re-edit it. So yeah, it's this top long beam. Again, you can actually fall in front of the building that the jump ends, but you do need to be as close to that building as possible. As you can see, I don't think I quite make it. I'll just go to the side of it. Yeah, and then I set fire to my bike, so I'll obviously get off it and get a new bike from just south of this area here, where the step building is. This is another difficult one because of the traffic. So it's all about luck. So if you don't have the right traffic, or if there's traffic in the way, just turn around and start again. You do need to clear, obviously, that little pier area there in order to get the trophy. So landing on the grass at the other side, trophy, get you the unique jump. Apologies. That's all for the first island at the moment. Now we're just going to go on to Starfish Island, where there is a couple of jumps to be done. So this one, again, push forward on your analog stick to make Tommy crouch down, and then you should be able to make the jump decently. Again, this could be one where you can land on the building in front, or you can land, if you make the jump, you can actually land at the side here and you'll still get the actual stunt bonus itself. That's just the one that was on Starfish Island. We're going to start now on the, I guess it's the final island, we'll call it. And we're in Little Havana, so depending on when you're doing this, the Little Havana ones can be frustrating because you can get pulled off your bike by the rowdy gang members, so just have to watch out for that. This one, again, can be difficult because of traffic, so just pick your space, and as long as you fly over the building, you'll be fine. That's another one where you do need, again, to get onto that building for a mission, for one of the helicopter missions. So you may have done that at another point, or it is required to get on that roof for the helicopter missions. Again, not the best conditions, it is raining, but I've still managed to complete the jumps, so it just proves that it doesn't necessarily matter what the conditions are, but it just helps when they're not. This one I never got my bike back. I did it a few times, and every single time I ended up hitting that roof and flying off and having to go back and retrieve a bike from the hogtied location that I was at in the intro. So once I've got that new bike, I've come back, avoiding all these gang members and jumping towards the pay and spray. So you do need to make it most of the way, if not all of the way. I think I hit the wall here, yes I do. But that gives me the stunt jump anyway, so it's all good. But yeah, make sure you're clearing most of that towards the paint spray. Quite a few jumps in Little Havana, to be honest. I'm surprised there wasn't more kind of spread out through the map. They're quite condensed in the areas to get these kind of 36 jumps. This one has a little bit of a longer run up, so you are going kind of through some other jumps before you're going to hit this jump here. Beautiful sunset there. That was quite a nice picture there. Give myself a pat on the back. Not that I've got anything to do with it, but that was a nice vista to be flying through the air. Got to go onto Starfish Island now for number 28. So this one is contained at the back of one of the houses where you have to jump over a hedge, and this is another one that can take a little bit of time to get right because you have to go through a gateway, that gateway, and over hit some steps and go over a hedge, and it can be several attempts before you actually manage to complete it. It certainly was for me. This was another one which took me kind of 4 or 5 attempts and probably needed another new bike. But yeah, make sure you get through the gate and then over the steps here. You need to clear this hedge that's going to come into. Well, I mostly cleared it, but you need to sort of be over the other side to get the actual unique jump itself. Gonna go back to the main island now, and we're in the airport area. So there's again quite a few jumps in this area, and we'll be finishing off mostly in this area. So the first one is to come up the sign in front of the airport. So you're going to jump onto the roof. This is a good one to do if you want to do the rampage. There is a rampage on that roof and a unique package as well. So it may be you need to do that jump for other reasons. And it may be you may have done it previously. The next one is kind of within the aeroplanes, jumping back towards this kind of terminal building here. This is one where you do need to land on this roof here, but it should be pretty simple. And that's number 30. There's only 6 more jumps to go. Most of them are contained within this area. So we're going to go actually onto the runway now, where we're going to get our next series of jumps. Just make sure you line these up. Obviously, there's not a lot moving in the airport, thankfully, which helps. But some of the jumps do look similar, and a lot of the ramps are those kind of steps to planes. So you can end up jumping on some that are not actually the unique jump itself. That one's pretty simple, as are most in the airport, to be fair. So the next one is going to be, I think, the other way back. So yeah, we're just going to go back the other way over a set of steps. So just try and avoid those little baggage handler things that tend to move around. You don't want to hit one of those. It's not going to help you. And again, as long as you just clear the end of that tunnel there, you should be absolutely fine. And just another one more before we do the final 2 over the radar system is the final 2, but we're going back in this original direction we went for the previous one. I've set on fire on this. You can apparently jump off and still get the unique jump, so that was something I learned from this particular jump, that as long as your bike lands, it'll give you the jump. So here you can see this big radar system, which I was trying to say earlier, on the right, just on the right there. The last couple of jumps will be kind of around this radar system here. So just make sure you get a big enough run up. The first one will go away from the radar system and towards the end of the runway, and then we'll come back and we'll do a couple of jumps by that particular radar system. This one is quite a long one, and you've got to make sure you clear those containers there, so that if you don't, I don't believe it will give you the jump, but obviously you can let me know if it does give you the jump. So make sure, just go back to the radar system, that we mentioned earlier, and then we're going to do the final 2 jumps here. So try not to run into the system as it's spinning, so come up and over here and don't get too close, otherwise you will. I've got quite close there, but if you get much closer you will be ejected from the bike and it won't give you the actual jump itself. And then for the last one we're going to go back the other way, but we're going to use one of the airport markers for the runway to jump off this time. So again, line yourself up. These could be hard to line up because sometimes you can't see the actual thing. So yeah, make sure you jump again away from the system. Don't jump towards the spinning radar, otherwise you'll be knocked off your bike and you won't get the reward. And there we are, that's all 36 jumps completed for the Daredevil trophy. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Thank you for watching How To Trophies. Take care.